Howdy, the name's Coasterman, and we're heading back to Branson, Missouri. We're gonna have a good time up there and have a day at Silver Dollar City, and I'll meet you up there. Before we move on to the next ride, let's admire the craftsmanship here. This is a pumpkin owl. You heard me right. A pumpkin owl. Sure, it may not be actual pumpkin, more likely being made out of plastic, but still, you've got to admire the craftsmanship here. Alright, so now we are looking at the Electro Spin, a Zamperla Mega Disco. This thing is pretty well the most thrilling ride here at the Grand Exposition. So, and that's saying a lot, seeing as how it's a very simple ride with a little bit going for it like this. It spins and then it rolls along the track like so. Still, yeah, it goes at a pretty good clip of speed while it does so. So, it's no real slouch when it comes to thrills either. I'd say a moderate at most. Once this thing comes to a complete stop, which it's about halfway through its ride cycle right now, I'll be getting on, and then I'll be giving my ride review afterwards. So, not like you'll need a ride review after everything that I've said about it, because, let's be perfectly honest, I've already done a ride review more times than I can count on this thing. But still, yeah, it wouldn't be a vacation vlog unless I gave a ride action shot and a ride review. So, yeah, there we go. That's my reasoning in a nutshell. So, it's about to stop now. Alright. This ride, as I've said before, is the most thrilling ride here at the Grand Exposition. Like I said before, that's saying a lot considering the big hitters that are in the rest of the park. But, you know, it's basically here and not there. So, yeah. Like I said before, it's the most thrilling one in this segment. It's a pretty simplistic design, but it's effective. I believe magnets are the cause of the ride going along the track. So, yeah, let's move on to the next thing, shall we? And what would a trip to Silver Dollar City Fall be without pumpkin sculptures? This one is of a spider. So, essentially, what you're looking at here is pure, cute, but amazing craftsmanship here. This spider is huge, and like I had said before, unless I zoom out like this, you can't see the whole thing. But this is right next to the Royal Tea Party. Alrighty, so speaking of the Royal Tea Party, here we are. This is the Royal Tea Party. This Zamperla Teacups ride is a, well, I'll just let the ride speak for itself. You can go as fast or as slow as you want, with some logical limits. There are some teacups that allow you to go about as fast as you want. There are others that are a little bit harder to turn than that. So yeah, essentially we're looking at a ride where, like most spinning rides, you really have to get lucky with your seat. Like, see, some of them are really spinning fast. So if I can get a seat like that, like what they're spinning in, then hopefully being the keyword, I can actually spin as fast as I want, which for me tends to be pretty fast because you know, I like fast spinning rides and all that. Anyway, it's about to stop, so I'm about to get on and give my ride review afterwards. Teacup 5 seemed to have been my lucky number this time because it was a good spinning cup. I could actually spin at a pretty good speed. So I'm gonna go ahead and collect myself, and then we'll move on to the next attraction. And also, there's another sculpture that I would like to show you once I get to it. Alrighty, and here we have the Elephant March as Zamperla Telecombat. These rides are basically a customizable ride experience where you can fly as high as you want. I remember the first time that I rode one of these, I stayed low to the ground because I was a big chicken. That was back in 2003. Now I alternate going up and down. Yeah, the Elephant March, a very, very fun ride because it's very customizable. Definitely one of the best family rides out there. So one of those is down on the ground because it's an empty seat, but there are several of them that are down there which have people in them. So I think it's about to come to an end. So once the ride comes to a complete stop, I will be getting on, and then when I get off, I will be giving my ride review. I have a couple of pieces of advice when you're in the Grand Exposition area and riding Elephant March. Do not underestimate the forces. If you're riding alone and you try to ride in the middle seat, you will be pushed to the outside. And it's for that reason that I'm going to tell you my next piece of advice. If you're riding with a kid, you have to be on the outside. There will be no excuses because you are pushed to the outside by the forces of the Elephant March. I was caught off guard this time. In a good way. That was actually very interesting to learn. Anyway, I think it's about time to get onto a ride where being pushed to the outside is much less surprising. Alrighty, and now we have come to the Racing Regatta. This Zamperla Regatta is a really fast ride. Family thrill, I would say. And this thing, as I've said before, has a sideways force that'll push you to the outside. And it's not very surprising because you can see from here how fast it's going. But still yet, the Racing Regatta is a really nice throwback to my time back in Magic Springs, because it's really that similar to Pirate Rock. So, with all that out of the way, I believe I'll just let this ride do its thing, and once it finishes, I will be getting on, and once I get off, I will be giving my ride review. So it looks like it's slowing down now. I'm not sure exactly how fast this thing goes, but it looks like it goes at a pretty good clip of speed there. Especially seeing as how the sideways forces you, the forces just to pull you to the outside. What else can be said about Racing Regatta that hasn't already been said? It's a blast. It's definitely one of the more thrilling rides here at the Grand Exposition. It goes fast and it pulls you to the edge. It's a nice ride, and it's a nostalgic throwback to a ride that I've ridden in the past, probably in 2001. Anyway, I've got a little thing to show you before we get to our next ride, so here we go. And the thing I have to show you happens to be this little kitty right here. Made out of pumpkin, or at least looking like it's made out of pumpkins. This kitty stands right next to the Mighty Galleon, which is loading right now, so we're going to be able to get an action shot of it real soon. And now we have the Mighty Galleon. This Amperla Galleon is a swinging ship ride. Very nostalgic because this is one of those rides that I have ridden at least since 2000 with the Rum Runner and Magic Springs and Crystal Falls. I may have actually ridden this before going to Magic Springs, but I'm not entirely sure of that yet.
I'm holding
so
they all won.
This ride, as with all the classics, swings back and forth, and when you're up on the arc, especially on the edges, especially on the ends of the ship, you get some airtime, and there's even a physics lesson to be had with this particular swinging ship. So I would have to look back on my previous the jog through Silver Dollar City to see what exact physics lesson is in store for us. Alrighty, so I didn't really look back on that episode of Vacation Vlogs to see what type of physics lesson there is. So I'm just going to give you my standard ride review on the Mighty Galleon. It's a classic. It's fun, it gives you some airtime, especially if you're on one of the ends. Overall, it's a real blast, and if you like the gentle rides, I highly advise you give it a ride. And here we have the Grand Exposition coaster. This Amperla Family Gravity Coaster is a very, well, basic circuit. You just basically go down the lift hill, through the helix, and you do this 3 times. Because technically after that helix you go right back into the station. So this oval section, or I believe it's oval anyway, the big thing about it is it's not too particularly long, it's not too particularly intense, but that does not mean it's not forceful. So we'll see what happens after this run. In other words, we're going to give it a good old ride review. As I've said in all previous ride reviews for the Grand Exposition coaster, that thing is small but forceful. You make 3 circuits and it pulls you back and forth. It's got many lateral G's. It's not to the point where it'll just jerk something loose or throw your back out like a certain type of roller coaster. But it's just that bit that makes the ride a little bit rougher than some of the rest. So with that, I believe I'm going to go and get me some lunch. Alrighty, so here we have Wildfire. This B&M sit-down coaster is the silver medalist in the park and the best out of the standard roller coasters. This thing reaches about 157 feet. That's either the lift hill height or the drop height. I don't remember which. Still yet though, Wildfire is one of the best coasters I've been on, simply because it has 5 pole inversions. I'll be showing off more here in just a minute. And there they go again. Up the lift hill. I think that might be somewhere within the zip code of 120 plus feet. The drop is much, much lower. So, regardless of the drop height of the drop, this ride is all sorts of fun. So that goes down there, and they drop right into that Immelman right there, and then in a little bit into that giant vertical loop. So here's one thing about the standard sit-down roller coasters. For those of you who are only just joining me, there are multiple types of B&M roller coasters. The standard sit-down, the inverted, the floorless. There's even a stand-up model. And I'm not just talking about the old ones, but the new ones as well. So yeah, there's a reason why the Wildfire was for the longest time a gold medalist attraction here at Silver Dollar City, and recently got bumped down to silver, but among the standard coasters it is still king. That's because it has 5 inversions, about the same as Batman the Ride and the Gauntlet in Magic Springs and Crystal Falls. So yeah, this ride is all sorts of fun. Take a look at these guys hanging around. So now we are at Wilson's Farm, and you know what that means. If you don't, then I don't guess I've introduced it properly. So, basically, it's the home of the high-low silos, the giant barn swing, and the best of all, Outlaw Run. Well, I'm probably not going to be able to ride Outlaw Run today because it's broken. However, I'll take a t-shirt from it and a ride on the giant barn swing as a consolation. This S&S Power, so Scream and Swing, is one of the most thrilling rides in the park. It's, I think it goes at a top speed of about 70 miles an hour. I don't know, maybe that's the height of the ride, 70 feet. Still, yeah, it's a very, very great ride. It's essentially the Mighty Galleon's taller younger brother. So, now it's time to get on and get off and give my ride review. S&S Power had a solid idea when they made the Scream and Swing. Many parks and many locations have created them, including this park right here in Branson, Missouri. It's very impressive how effective at the thrill game that the Scream and Swing actually is. And the giant barn swing is certainly no different, being one of the most well-themed that I've seen. Of course, then again, I've only seen one in person, so details. Next up in Silver Dollar City's lineup is the High-Low Silos. This ride is basically a mechanical test of strength and endurance. You have to pull on that rope to get yourself to the top of that tower, and then once you're up there, you have to, you either have the choice to let go and drop back down, or you can stay up there for as long as the ride stays operating, or your strength holds out in order to stay at the top and enjoy the view. Now, like I said before, this will take some endurance on your part, so I would not advise going on this ride if you're already tired from the previous time exerting yourself, because you won't enjoy yourself as much if you do. Still yet, this ride is an awesome addition just because of how hands-on it is. So there are many cases where you can just simply keep at the bottom where without pulling on the rope, but that would probably make for a boring ride. Well, like I said before, the high-low silos is an endurance test, and well, I like to challenge myself to ride every ride in the park, which in itself is an endurance test. So, in other words, challenge accepted. So, yeah, I'm about to go on ahead and head back to where I was going to go before I realized that they had shut it down. Because while I was riding every other ride in the area and getting my snazzy new t-shirt, they got it fixed back up. So, let's present the bronze medalist of the park. And here it is, Outlaw Run, the third best ride in Silver Dollar City. This Rocky Mountain construction wooden roller coaster is all sorts of chaotic, and for a reason I'm about to show off, it is my favorite wooden roller coaster of all time. I hear it roaring about, so we're about to see exactly why this is my favorite ride in terms of wooden roller coasters. That train just came out of a double barrel roll, one of 3 inversions on the ride, or actually 2 of 3 inversions on the ride. So, Outlaw Run, let's get on with it. Wouldn't you believe that this ride got the Golden Ticket Award for the best new ride of 2013? And it's well earned too. This ride is intense and fun. The lift hill, at least the first drop, is 168 feet. And this thing loops around not once, not twice, but 3 times in its circuit. And the finale could not be better. It is a double barrel roll. Like, that's literally the finale of the whole ride. To go upside down twice. I think maybe more inversions may have made it a little bit better, but still yet, this ride proves why it's my favorite wooden roller coaster of all time. I forgot the story that this is based off of, but I just adore the craftsmanship here. And it's definitely something that I can recognize. It's the cow, the pig, and the chicken from a story where the animals want to start a band, I think it was. I think that was the plot of it. I'm kind of thinking that the story had the word Bremen in it, but still, I just adore the craftsmanship here, and they've really done well with these. Alright, next up on the Silver Dollar City lineup is Fire Spotter. this Zamperla balloon ride is a, well, it's a balloon ride. It's not quite as fancy as its next contemporary, the Samba balloons. However, it does have a twist that definitely sets it apart from some of its contemporaries. It tilts like that, and it's a bit higher up. So, while the Samba balloons tilts all over the place, this balloon ride basically tilts in only one direction, but it makes up for it with its height. So there we go. That's the fire spotter, and I do enjoy that it is in the patriotic colors of red, white, and blue. So, once it sets back down in a little bit, I'm going to be giving the ride review. Okay. So, for those of you who haven't heard, in which case, welcome to the channel. This used to be in Tom Sawyer's Landing under the name. Well, actually, I forget the name, but I remember it was in Tom Sawyer's Landing.
Thank you.
Similar to the Grand Exposition, most rides at the Fireman's Landing, now known as the Fire District, are coming from the ride designers Zamperla. There are a few exceptions to the rule, however. Those I will be getting to after a little bit. But for right now, I'm going to be focusing on one more Zamperla ride. As I was saying before, here's our next Zamperla ride, the Fire Wagon Frenzy. This magic carpet is a really tame version compared to what was at Celebration City. And you can probably see that there's not really much to worry about when it comes to injuries. So, yeah, once this thing it gets through, which it's halfway through the ride cycle right now, I'll be getting on, and then I'll be giving my ride review. So, and the ride that you're hearing right now, we're going to be doing that one next. Alright. And there we go. It's time to get on. Alright, so I just got off of Fire Wagon Frenzy. This is going to be the last tame ride that I'm going to be riding on because it's about time for its park to close, and I want to get on two of the best rides here before the park closes, for real. So, I'm going to go ahead and make a start on the ride that is right next to Fire Wagon Frenzy, and then work my way up from there to Fire in a Hole. Here we go. This is Firefall, an SNS powered double shot drop tower. So when you hear double shot, one thing to bear in mind is that this is a newer model alongside alongside the Space Shot and Turbo Drop models. Double shot is generally much smaller, and the thing about it is the Space Shot only goes up once and then bounces down. Double shot does it twice and bounces down. So there we go. That's the difference. Well, that's it for the Firefall. Now it's time for the last attraction that I'll most likely be able to ride here, which would be Fire in the Hole. So, I'm going to be pretty blunt here. Firefall is not the tallest of its kind, but it's also not the very first one that I've ridden. And even though it still performs just as great as all of the big boys, this thing is something else, to be honest. It is a classic drop tower, and it is honestly really thrilling for the sector that it's in. So, here in a little bit, I'm going to be showing off most likely the last ride that I'll be riding here, especially seeing as how I'm gonna have to wait for a train to pass in order to get on it. So, here we go. Here comes the Frisco Silver Dollar line. This is what we were waiting for. Fire in the hole. There we go. Oh, it had an American flag on the back of it? Shoot, I didn't know that.
Unfortunately, due to the risk of copyright, I could not include the original audio here. So, here we have the Super Sling. This is a ride that basically made by Stan Checkett's other company. I don't know the name of it, but it hoists you high in the air between that fork up there, and it turns you upside down. It's a really, really fun ride. It's a thrill to ride. So, I'm going to get on very quickly, and I will be giving my ride review. I'm sorry that I'm not really giving a action shot at this ride, but unfortunately, as you can see, there's nobody in line to ride it, so yeah. On this side of the tower, we have the gravity bomb. This is from the same company as it is attached to the same tower. Even though it looks like an Intamin drop tower, this thing will slowly hoist you to the top, and then when it clicks into place, it drops you right back down at the speed of gravity. This thing is pretty intense for first-timers. For those of you who are experienced, this may seem a bit tame, but give the newcomers some slack. This ride can be very unexpected, even with the audio cue signaling your fall. So, with all that out of the way, let's get a ride review doing.
Well, here we go. We're heading back home through the Bobby Hopper Tunnel. It's been a blast. The vacation has went pretty well. A day at Silver Dollar City, a day of riding on the Action Tower at Bigfoot, both the Gravity Bomb and the Super Sling. and and a definitely expected reaction from Mom when she when she heard that I wrote it so many times. On Facebook, you can see Super Sling, Super No, even going so far as to call me a daredevil. Very well earned. So, yeah, we're heading on home. So with all that, I believe I have to thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I don't know what's gonna happen next, so just stay tuned. I may not be retired yet, but if things turn out badly, unfortunately I may have to retire from going to the amusement parks. So for one final time, maybe, thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and possibly for the last time, I'll see you later.